On Shark Tank, we've seen empires born. We've watched everyday people walk in with nothing but an idea and walk out with million-dollar deals. But not every pitch is a dream. Some pitches are awkward, painfully awkward. Sometimes, entrepreneurs come in overconfident, and the sharks tear their valuations apart. Sometimes, the product itself is bizarre, leaving everyone in stunned silence. And sometimes, the presentation goes so far off track that the sharks can't help but laugh. These awkward pitches are a reminder. The tank isn't just about business. It's about pressure, about performance, about knowing your numbers, your story, and your value. One of the strangest pitches in Shark Tank history was something straight out of a Saturday Night Live skit. Wake and bacon. The idea? A wooden alarm clock that literally cooked bacon on your nightstand, so you could wake up to the smell of sizzling pork. Yes, you heard that right. When the founder pitched it, the sharks were stunned. Mark Cuban couldn't stop laughing. Kevin O'Leary looked horrified. The problem wasn't just the weirdness of the idea, it was the execution. The prototype looked like a fire hazard waiting to happen. The sharks grilled the entrepreneur with questions. What about grease fires? What happens when people don't clean it properly? Do you understand how dangerous this could be? The poor founder had no solid answers. The more he talked, the worse it got. By the end, the sharks unanimously declared it one of the most unsafe products they'd ever seen. Awkward silence filled the tank as the entrepreneur walked out. It was an idea that may have sounded funny in theory, but in front of investors, it was a complete disaster. Some pitches are awkward because of the product, others because of the person. Enter Steve Gadlin.
I want to draw a cat for you.
The man behind I Want to Draw a Cat for You. His business was exactly what it sounded like. For $9.95, he would draw a silly stick figure cat doing whatever you wanted. When he danced into the tank, singing his homemade jingle, the sharks didn't know whether to laugh or cringe. Mark Cuban literally buried his face in his hands. Kevin O'Leary muttered, "This is ridiculous." But here's the twist. While the pitch was awkward and hilarious, Steve's energy and charm eventually won Mark Cuban over. Against all odds, Cuban invested $25,000 for 33% of the business. And believe it or not, it worked. The company went viral, selling thousands of cat drawings online. It's a perfect example of how awkwardness isn't always bad. Sometimes being weird and owning it can make you stand out. Now let's talk about a pitch that was awkward for all the wrong reasons. The Elephant Chat was a relationship tool designed to help couples talk about difficult issues. It was literally a stuffed elephant in a box. The idea was, when one partner wanted to talk, they'd place the elephant on the table signaling, "We need to address the elephant in the room." When the couple behind it walked into the tank, they were already nervous. Their delivery was stiff, their numbers were weak, and the sharks weren't impressed. Barbara Corcoran bluntly said, "You don't need a stuffed toy to talk to your partner. You need communication." Kevin O'Leary went further, calling it a 40-plush toy nobody will buy. The entrepreneurs kept fumbling their responses, digging themselves deeper. The sharks grew uncomfortable. The silence in the room was heavy. By the end, every shark was out. The couple left embarrassed, their elephant in the room idea permanently remembered as one of the tank's cringiest pitches. Some pitches don't just make the sharks uncomfortable, they make the audience squirm. Case in point, the UroClub. This was a golf club that doubled as a portable urinal. Yes, a hollow golf club with a cap, designed so golfers could discreetly relieve themselves on the course. When the inventor demonstrated it, the sharks looked horrified. Damon John literally leaned back in his chair. Kevin O'Leary smirked and asked, "And how do you clean it after?" The pitch was awkward, the concept was questionable, and the branding was almost impossible. Yet somehow, the sharks admired the sheer boldness of bringing such a product on national TV. Still, no deals were made. The UroClub became infamous as one of the most bizarre and awkward inventions in Shark Tank history. So, what do we learn from these awkward Shark Tank pitches? First, preparation matters. Many of the most awkward moments came from entrepreneurs who weren't ready. They didn't know their numbers, didn't test their products, or didn't think through the practicality of their idea. Second, confidence is key. Even if your product is strange, like I Want to Draw a Cat for You, confidence and energy can turn awkward into memorable and even profitable. Third, awkwardness isn't always failure. Some of the weirdest ideas went viral after Shark Tank. Exposure Even embarrassing exposure can spark curiosity in sales. But the biggest lesson? In the tank and in life, you only get one chance to make a first impression. Awkward or not, what matters is how you own it. Here on Rich Talk, we believe that wealth isn't just about success. It's also about resilience, about laughing at your mistakes, learning from them, and turning every awkward moment into a stepping stone toward greatness. So the next time you cringe at a Shark Tank pitch, remember, sometimes the most uncomfortable moments are the ones that teach us the most.